So Halloween season is over, but let's talk about the books that I read in October. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining today. I am so excited to talk about the books that I read this past month. I feel like it was kind of an odd month. Like I was in a little bit of a reading slump. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it right now or after this video. And I picked up some kind of random books. I was trying to go for more like spooky, like mystery type books. I think I did that a little bit and I'm excited to talk about them. I feel like these reading months, they just go by so quickly and then all of a sudden it's here and I'm like, I have to talk about all the books that I read this month. So hopefully I can remember them because my memory is shot. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. The first book I read was Him by Sarina Bowen and Elle Kennedy. This was an romance, like male romance, and I haven't really read many of these before and it was really good. I mean, not really good. It was a 3 out of 5 for me, but it was different and I did enjoy it. It was a sports romance, which sometimes are fun and sometimes I like don't care about. I think they played hockey and I'm pretty sure there's a second book, but I don't think I want to read it. But it's very spicy, some turmoil, you know, that type of stuff. I'm not going to talk about very much because it was just like kind of just there. As you can see, I'm great at reviewing books, so stay tuned. The next 2 books I read were The Amendment and The Atonement by Kirsten Maudlin. And for The Amendment, I gave it 3 out of 5, and The Atonement, I gave it 4 out of 5. This is a continuation of the series, The Arrangement. I talked about that book in another one of my videos, but these 2 were the same story, just like continuation on of their lives. This is about a husband and a wife. No, I think they have 2 kids. They decided to spice up their marriage, like try to save their marriage by bringing in like an open relationship, and that kind of backfired on them. And it's all about murder and people killing people and secrets and like plot twists and running. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, definitely pick this up. There's not like a ton of romance. It's more like the husband and wife story. So okay, so in the first one, The Arrangement, the husband, I think his name was Peter, he was kind of likable, and then towards the end of the books, like he was so annoying. Like I was like, okay, I'm done with you, dude. So that was all over the place. The next book I read was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I gave this book a 5 out of 5. I thought it was really, really good, and I'm so excited for the second one to come out. I think it comes out in February. And this was about a rich family hiring a housemaid, and she was like an ex-prisoner and was having a really hard time finding a job. So she found this listing, or somebody recommended her. I don't remember what it was, job fair. Something happened where she found a job for this rich family. It was this husband and wife with their daughter, and she becomes their live-in housemaid. She like gets put into this like tiny attic in the top of the house with like a crappy bed, and like compared to the rest of the house, it's just not a good situation for her, and it's kind of creepy. There's like no windows, there's a lock on the outside of the door, and the wife is like insane in this book, like psycho, and her kid is kind of creepy, and the husband is there, and I can't really talk about much because there is like a huge plot twist in like the 3/4 or kind of middle of the book, and the whole book kind of changes. So I thought this book was so good. It was unexpected and like a perfect read for the fall. So definitely go check this book out. I thought it's gonna be one of my top books of the whole year. The next book I read was The Dragon's Bride by Katee Robert. And I am not one for like monster type romances, and this was definitely one of those. I know what I was getting into. It's a Katee Robert book, but this girl has to pay penance 7 years in like this monster world. I don't really remember what happened, to be honest, because I was not too into it. All I know is that this guy was like a lizard man and he had 2 you-know-whats, and there was a lot going on in that part, and there was a lot of story that I really didn't care about. I feel like the spice carried me through it. I gave it a 2 out of 5 because I'm just not interested in it. I just wanted to try it out because I've heard good things about it, but I don't think it's my trope, like monster, like kind of having to build a world a little bit, but it's such a short book that there's like not a ton of space for that. So yeah, it was okay. Yeah. I then read The Dark One by Nikki St. Crow. This is number 2 of the Vicious Lost Boys series. The first one is The Never King, and this is the Peter Pan's like fairy tale retelling of when, I think it's Wendy's great-great-granddaughter. It's this whole thing where the daughters of Wendy's grandkids or whatever, that lineage, the Darling girls, they get sent to the Neverland to try to help Pan find his shadow because he lost it. But all these guys are like really angry now. Like Peter Pan's all tatted up and like buff and older and is just like jaded and kind of mean. And this book is so, it's a really quick read. It's like 200 pages and just all spice and her sleeping with literally all the characters. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought the first one was a little better just because the thoughts in this girl's head were so random and like funny but not meant to be funny. So if you've read this, you know what I mean. Okay, I actually have a physical book here. I know, shocking. Every book that I read is like either on Kindle or an audiobook, but I read, oh god, It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. If you saw my video where I read this, I did a little vlog for it. Definitely go check that out. I talk way more in depth about this book, but everyone's talking about it. It's Colleen Hoover's new book. It came out in October. It's the second one to It Ends With Us. So it's a continuation on of Lily and Ryle and Atlas's story with Lily and Ryle's child, and it's a love story. I was like slightly disappointed in some aspects of this book. Like I wanted more from it. It was pretty short and there wasn't too much that happened, I feel. It was fine. I had to give it a 4.5 out of 5 because I loved this book so much and I really love Atlas in this book. So I think he carried me through, and that's about it. I feel like over time, as I think about this book more, I have more intense feelings about it. I then read Scream for Us by Molly Doyle. 2 out of 5. This book was like super quick, just spice. I read it in maybe like 30 minutes. Honestly, like it was so fast. I feel like it shouldn't even count as a book that I read this month, but it was kind of centered around, like, it was called Scream for Us and it has a pumpkin on the front, so I thought it would be more Halloween-y, but it was just like smut pretty much. So I didn't even know what was going on most of the time. I'm just flying through these. Sorry if I'm going too fast and if this is just a jumbled mess. But then I read 2 more Colleen Hoover books. I'm trying to like get through all of them. I'm almost there. And I don't know if I'm gonna actually finish all of them because after this reading 2 of the books in this series, I'm like, I don't want to read the third one, to be honest. I read Slammed and Point of Retreat. Slammed was much better than Point of Retreat. It was about this girl who moves into this town with her mom and brother, and then she falls in love with a neighbor who's her teacher, and she's like in high school, and he lives with just his brother. And this girl's dad just died, so it's just her and her mom, and then her mom gets cancer, and then her mom dies. Sorry if this is a lot of spoilers. So then her and her brother and Will and his brother, they're like in the same situation. Like neither of them have parents, and now they have to raise their like kid brothers who are best friends now. And Slammed is, it's named Slammed because they do slam poetry. I didn't like it. I really didn't like the second one. I gave it a 2 out of 5. The first one, 3 out of 5. The second one was mostly, I think it was all in Will's perspective, and I just did not like him. He was like kind of weird, kind of creepy, didn't like his thoughts. I was like, bro, you need to chill out. So I don't know if I want to read the third one. Like, what else is this story gonna give me? Like the ending, I was like, are you serious? Of the second one. It was ridiculous. Like random things happened for no reason. It was definitely a young adult. And Point of Retreat was literally, it's called Point of Retreat because they almost get to the spice and then they say Point of Retreat and then they like retreat from it. So that's literally what it's called. why it's called that. So if you were curious, that's what I found out reading it. Okay, I have one more, and it is The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. It was fine. Like, I expected more to happen in it, like more mystery, psychological type stuff, but it was not as much as I expected, so I think I was kind of disappointed in it, to be honest. I don't have like a ton of things to say about it. It was a good read. I would say if you like mystery, psychological type, thriller type things, you should go check it out, but it wasn't anything crazy. I need some books that are like The Housemaid, that just like give me the vibes and the feels and all the things. And I feel like a lot of these books that I've been reading lately have just not been it. Like, it's not doing it for me. So I need to get my stuff together so I can actually give you guys good recommendations. But if you take anything away from this video, it's what not to read. Or what to read because you want to find out it for yourself. That is my reading month of October. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down below and I'll be sure to check them out. And I'm excited for our November reads. I want to try to read 100 books in this year, and I'm about 22 behind. So I don't know if that's going to actually happen, but I do on average kind of read 10 plus books a month. So we'll see. I feel like these months are going to like be really busy. So not sure if that's going to happen, but we will see. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.